It's your girl Alicia, and I am back with
Brian.
my boy B, and we are here with another reflections video. So, on today, I have reeled my boy in to talk about this whole Will and Jada saga. Yeah, we're gonna get entangled. We're gonna get entangled into this conversation because I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's something important for the both of us to talk about, and we can share it because that is one of our deal breakers is infidelity and entanglement. That's what it is, infidelity. So if you're looking for the definition of entanglement, it is definitely infidelity, okay? But I don't know. I mean, that's my opinion. Other people can have, I'm sure other people have their own opinion of what all of this means. But for me, I feel like it was important that we talk about it. So why not? So I want to talk about first of all, I want to start by talking about how this must make this man feel because him going public, sitting there supporting his wife, and them both going public talking about this must have had to make him feel terrible. So as I was watching it, that's what stood out the most for me. Is I felt for him, not because this hasn't been something that they have, already talked about. Obviously, they've already talked about it. Obviously, they already prepped. Obviously, this was a little scripted because the video was very much so edited. So it's not that this is something new to him, but it was just the fact that it is put on display. She laid it out on a red table for everybody to talk about, for everybody to speculate. My heart went out to him, and it also went out to her as well. But my heart went out to him because I'm just like, this man, like, has to deal with that. I mean, that's his wife. And, like, most men, they want their wives to be seen as, perfect, right, in a sense. Like, untouched, unscathed. And Lord, did she just lay it all out. So my heart went out to him. But I commend them both for even talking about it. I commend them both for even coming out and putting it on the red table and talking about it because a lot of marriages go through that. A lot of marriages suffer that. People think that men are the only ones who are out there cheating and doing wrong and all of that. No, women do it too. Women do it too. So the fact that they put it out there, I'm really glad that they did that, and I really commend them for doing that. But my heart was aching for him, and you could tell that his peers were like, "Are you okay?" Because 50 Cent hold on to me. 50 Cent reached out to him. And I'm going to read because I wrote down what 50 Cent said to him. I feel so bad for Will. Lord Jesus. Okay, so 50 Cent said, but why she tell you that S, y'all fill in the blanks, on a show for everybody to see? And so Will's response was, we were broken up, so she did her and I did me. So then 50 Cent comes back with, she said only she can give permission for somebody to blow her back out. Like, this is what this man is saying to this man. And so Will's response was, F you. Like, yeah. Like, don't come at me like that. So I feel like he feels like he has to protect himself in a sense and kind of like take up for himself. I don't know. You're a man. Like, weigh in on that. Like, what? What?
Well, I mean, I have mixed emotions about it all. So I think first, I don't know how they even assess like the whole Will and Jada situation and them coming out. It could be that it's like damage control. So I really don't know how to see all of this. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they said this happened 4 years ago. Because August came out and said what he said, apparently they wanted to just clear the air. So it's some thought behind even coming to the table, as they said. So I'm not so much even focused on what they've done, like all this coming to the table, Will being hurt, or who, you know, that's their whole relationship because
Yeah.
it's obviously scripted to me.
Yeah.
Their response and how they've done things to kind of like clear the air is a scripted process to me. And it really is none of my business to really kind of get involved with like what they say or do.
That's true.
I just kind of see it from, I have my own take on like what I see out of all of this, and it's not just so much focus on Will and Jada relationship necessarily. It's the bigger picture involving Austin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
nobody's talking about that.
Yeah, so they get to this table, and you know I'm looking at all of this play out. It starts off by them responding to Austin, which you know at the end of the day, Will didn't even need to be there. This is a choice that Jada chose to make with a dude that was obviously younger than her. She tries to justify it through being, you know, needing something within herself, and she reached out to this guy.
She needed to feel good. That's what
and it's like she's mature enough to know that he's at a maturity level where he doesn't even understand how to process a relationship on this level. So it's like I think it's something else going on, but she apparently came to the table playing the cards in such a way that she becomes like the victim in all of it. Not victimized by August, but victimized by her own circumstances. And I just don't think that's really just a just way of or a fair way of approaching it all, because August to me represent like what you see in a lot of men who get into relationships and they become hurt or whatever the case may be, and then they come out and they share these feelings and all that. Or a lot of people just withhold them feelings.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
And then they don't share it. And then you wonder why they go off and become like angry men in relationships or do women wrong.
Yeah.
He just happened to be the type of person that didn't mind sharing his experience for whatever reason.
I feel like
he shared the truth. Yeah, he shared the truth. Yeah. So I don't look at it like so much about Will and Jada, because I feel like they have a team of people who heard what Austin had to say.
Yeah.
And they came up with a perfect strategy
like
in terms of response.
They probably had a meeting. Yeah.
But ultimately, they laughed at this table and shared like how they got past all this, but I didn't see a lot of compassion or empathy in terms of like how Austin was affected by it. As long as they got the point across that they were good in it, I felt like they were cool with it.
Yeah, but the fact that they're bringing it up because, like you said, it's damage control.
Yeah. And
then not only that, it was just like you said, to show that they're okay, their relationship is fine, they are still together, you know, and to show that they're working it out. And as far as relationships go,
but the thing is, nobody care if they together. I mean, I guess some people who like the Wendy Williams type atmosphere of all this, the drama part of it, I guess they would care, but like most of us understand how life works. Things happen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Choices are made. Jada's only responsibility in all this is to admit that she was wrong and take full responsibility. Nobody cares about you justifying all of this because you was at a place where she and Will were broken up.
Yeah.
Or she had an empty spot in life.
Yeah,
I mean, we all have reasons to make bad choices and to make choices that violate our commitments to other people. But we also know, like, there are things we should and should not do regardless if we have a good reason as to why we want to do them. But because they're trying to protect their brand, which is their relationship, they came together and start acting at this table as far as I'm concerned about how they got past all this. But this is just to smooth over the whole thing with Jada so their relationship can be protected. But I'm not worrying about them. I don't really care about their relationship. I care about Austin because Austin is now a reflection of a lot of men when women get into these relationships and start asking like, how is it that these men are out here dogging out women and doing this and
why
that.
Why is he doing this? Why is he
a lot of that has like a little foundation to it.
Yeah.
You know, and that and these are circumstances that happen where they get exposed to not only situations in life by their parents or situations that happen in their formative years, but also in their relationships to other women and other people. And then that frames like how they see relationships.
Yep.
And sometimes bitterness and anger and frustration kind of mounts because of these relationships. And then they go out and they treat certain people a certain way that's negative. And then we have a problem with them. It's like, no, it's the people like Jada. It's the people like, these type of circumstances that they make these decisions when they are in a mature state of mind.
Yep.
And then they hurt people who aren't even mature enough chronologically in age or mentally in age to make these decisions. And then they go off and decide they want to be together, but not reflect on like what they owe Austin in this situation. They owe him a lot, but yet they focus on themselves and making sure we know that their relationship is solid. Yeah,
that's pretty much all it was damage control and just letting everybody know. Listen, let me take the reins of this story. If you're gonna narrate it, let me be the narrator, because they said that people were speaking for them. So, and they never said a word about anything. So I feel like they just came out and started talking about it because of the simple fact that they wanted their truth to be known. Whatever their truth was, whatever
their version
it
of the truth.
Yeah, whatever it was.
It may not necessarily be the truth.
Yeah, whatever it was, they wanted that. They wanted that to be known. But my thing is in relationships, I look at all three situations, even with August and being groomed and being probed and then being sent back out into society to have to build a relationship, knowing that's like the foundation of relationship that he knows. Like he's gonna he's damaged. You know what I mean? Like he's damaged. So he's gonna go into another situation damaged, and then this young lady is gonna be like, well, what's wrong with you? Like, where did this come from, or why are you doing this? Like, she's gonna want to know his why, and then it's just more strife and conflict that just grows. It's like a rippling effect. So the point of us talking is to like hit on every area, because on every area there can be, you know what I'm saying, there can be issues that can be missed, like, or issues that you can, you know, dodge from or disregard by looking at this from everybody's angle, because you don't want to be a Jada, you don't want to be a Will, and you don't want to be an August. Okay, I know I don't want to. And like I said in the beginning, that's our deal breaker. Like cheating, we just ain't having it. Infidelity, like once we're married, even now that we're in a serious courtship, it's like cheating is just not a thing. And since it's both of our deal breakers, it's like it's something that we don't even initially worry about. Because like I personally don't worry about it. He has my heart at his best interest. Like he's not gonna try to hurt me in any sense, especially when it comes to that, because that's the number one thing that he knows that I'll walk away from. And I the same. And then I don't want to embarrass him. Like I don't want no 50 cents out here. I don't want no 50 cents out here talking about somebody on the bro, what is it? Knock your girl up. What did he say about your girls? Oh, broke your girl's back out. Like,
yeah, well, that's immaturity talk. But my thing is, I don't like infidelity for the fact that you choose to be in a marriage. It's just straight up. You choose to be in a marriage.
Yeah.
And nobody has
or a committed relationship.
Nobody has a gun to my head. Nobody has a gun to Alicia's head or anybody's head. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you choose to be with somebody, you have to do the work within to make sure you assess whether or not you can hold on to the commitments or uphold the commitments of marriage. If not, don't get married.
Yeah.
So why would you get married and then you look to do all this cheating and stuff? Like, what's the whole point? And I guess some people do. I know some people do
some
get
people
married.
Fall into it because
some people do get married because they are looking to, it's for social status or whatever the case may be. But it's like, you don't have to get married if you are looking to be involved with other people. It's just nothing. You don't have to. So that's the only reason why. My thing is, if we are assuming vows over each other, are embracing vows, we should do our very best to feel like we are at a place personally where we can honor those vows.
Exactly.
And it's like, she's not doing me a favor by not cheating on me, and I'm not doing her a favor by not cheating on her. It really violates the own rules within myself. It's really something, if I'm not cheating on her, it's not something I feel like I owe her necessarily. I owe our relationship that. Exactly. And I should be proud of myself if wherever I go, I don't have to be policed or whatever the case by my relationship by her, and she doesn't have to be policed by me. It's like I'm policing myself because I didn't take these vows on assuming that somebody had to police me, or assuming that I didn't have the strength to be able to be faithful in a situation. So that's the reason why, to me, it's like it's you don't want to share a woman. Otherwise, you would just stay in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. And just continue. So there has to be some type of value to the whole concept of marriage that you try to embrace. And if at any point you want to be with somebody else, that's not a knock against me. That's your own internal struggles.
That's
and if,
right.
If I'm having some issues at any point through this relationship, whether things are getting dry or whatever, we together 20 years and it's boring or whatever the case, that's my boredom. That's my ownership. I can't put that on her to start tap dancing and doing stuff and hanging off the chandeliers and doing stuff. Like
doing
real talk,
like stuff
doing stuff like that. It's me. I have to take ownership of that, you know, because that becomes my problem.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that whole infidelity thing.
You know, but as far as relationships go, and as far as being in a relationship, and like, you know, steady dating or, you know, being married or whatever, the issue is things like this happen all the time. And the bottom line is things like this do happen all the time. And we just have to know, like, or try to learn how to get out of those situations and not put ourselves into those situations. Because like I said before, you don't want to be in either one. You don't want to be in either person's shoes. And it's just a bad situation all the way around. This is a bad situation all the way around. I feel like it'd be interesting to talk about, because talking about infidelity and talking about your boundaries and how you would actually deal with infidelity in a relationship if it were to occur, I feel like it's important. I feel like it's something that when you're dating, and especially if you're in a serious courtship, I feel like it's something that you should talk about. It's something that you should definitely go over. And I feel like this situation happening, I feel like that opened up the conversation for everybody to have. Like, it made it a little bit more comfortable, because you can start off with, look at Will. You can start off with, look at Will, look at Jada.
But the moral of the story to me, like, if you, in terms of Will and Jada, if you not, I don't care what the pressure is in life, if you don't feel like you're at a place where you can honor your relationship in terms of the vows that you take, don't take them. I don't care who says what, this and that or whatever, just don't take them. There's nothing wrong with being friends. There's nothing wrong with being, you know, doing things differently. People gonna judge you whatever way you do it. But if it doesn't work for you, or if you know within yourself that you're not marriage material, or if you feel that at some point, like, I have the tendency to grow bored, I have the tendency to do, you know, just not be happy in certain relationships, and there's a pattern that you haven't resolved.
You know those characters.
Yeah, and you haven't resolved within yourself why those patterns keep
coming back.
Yeah,
because this not this ain't her first rodeo.
Don't do that. And if you're in a relationship with somebody and they happen to be cheating and you married and all that, don't take it personal. Don't feel like you have to justify why you're married to somebody that's doing this to you. That's basically like, if Alicia cheated on me or if I didn't cheat on Alicia, at the end of the day, it's basically that's me. You know what I'm saying? She can't make me feel bad about anybody she chose to cheat with, as if it was something wrong with me, and that's why she needed somebody else at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And I can't make her feel bad at the end of the day, because nobody's going to have 100% of everything they need in one person. And it's like, you learn to love the person you're with the deficiencies and the things that come positive with them. And so you be realistic. And if you're not going to be realistic, then don't get in those relationships, because you're going to find yourself probably being enticed by somebody else. And if you step out and do certain things, whether they involve infidelity or whatever, then it takes a strong person to just take ownership of it. No excuses, no this and that and this and that. There's ownership. Most people are going to make excuses and all that. And it's like not even worth it.
They want to smooth it over.
Yep, it's not even worth getting in it, because if you're not going to be honest with yourself about what's going on, just stay out of it.
So we'll end it with that. If you're not going to be honest about it, if you're not going to take the vows seriously, the commitment seriously, then just don't do it. Just don't do it. True. I know in a real life marriage, or I say real life, but non-Hollywood, and, you know, civilian life, a civilian marriage, like,
yeah, because even in her interview, she was like way too aggressive. Like, she's the center of all this. And I don't care if it was a man or her or whatever, it don't matter about it, but she's the center of all this. And as they were having a discussion at the table, like, her whole approach was just too aggressive to me. There's no compassion. It was all excuses. And it was all like, you know, like, Will made a comment, like, I'm going to get you back or whatever. And she was like, I'm going to let you have that petty comment after a few little exchanges and conversation about that. And it's like, to me, if you married to somebody, to me, it's like, and you violated them, wouldn't you say, Like, no, like he said, I'm gonna get you back. When you just say like naturally,
I'm
like
sorry.
I understand
Yeah.
how you feel.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna work towards making you feel like you don't have to get me
do
back.
that.
I'm not gonna
Exactly.
respond as though like I'm gonna just let you have that petty comment. Like what?
Yeah.
If anything, you like, you know, I understand how you feel like that.
Yeah.
I know you right now. You feel like you got to get me back,
Yeah.
and that's a
And I'm
justifiable
sorry.
feeling.
It is.
But at the end of the day, I'm
And
gonna
I'm
work
sorry.
every day to make you feel, to do all I can to help you to feel that you don't have to feel like you have to get me back.
Yep.
I take ownership. I'm remorseful. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I'm gonna let you say that. I'm gonna embrace that. I see that as your truth, and you may be feeling that genuinely. But I'm gonna do everything I can to help you change your mind, so we can have a more functional relationship.
Yeah.
You just don't respond by saying, "I'm gonna just let you have that petty comment."
Yeah.
And a lot of things she said was just too aggressive to me. But
Yeah.
I ain't worried about that. I'm gonna let them be.
Let them have a Hollywood mess, okay? But over here in real life, if you're not ready, if you don't want to be committed, if you promise yourself, and mostly when you go to the Lord and you say, hey, I'm gonna get married, I want to be with this person for life, and you make that promise to the Lord, it's breaking your vow with God. It ain't even about that person. It's not even about you. It ain't even about your flesh. Like, you should really think back and be like, yo, do I want to break this vow I made with the Lord? Like, do I want to do that? So, anyway, I could go on and on and on about this, but I won't. We are going to end it right here. So, if you don't want it, then just what, babe?
Just don't get married.
Just don't.
You have to go through all this.
Exactly. All right, that's it for us. So, y'all, leave us a comment. Tell us what y'all think about this whole debacle, or what y'all even think about infidelity. Can you get past it? Is it something that you should try to get past? Is it your deal? Is it one of your deal breakers in marriage? Let us know. We want to hear, and maybe we'll come back and talk more about infidelity. All right, but until next time, we're gonna say
Bye.
we're gonna say peace.
Yeah,
peace.